Hello everyone, it's Eire again, after a very, very long return. I'll admit, it's been three weeks to a month? Yeah. Been quite a while, huh? Overall, I'm Eire, I'm Saturn's Edge, and welcome back to Persona 3 Reload, and, I'm doing pretty well, actually. It's just been a while. I got pretty busy with work and with, real-life stuff. About maybe a week ago or so, I went to go visit my my real-life friends from back in my hometown, and it was nice reconnecting with them again, even though it meant I had to, miss out on recording and stuff. It's just recording videos for a channel that nobody watches, so honestly, I consider that okay. I'd rather spend time with, my friends, people I actually care about, than, well, work on something like this, frankly. Don't get me wrong, I love this, but when it comes to friendship and, connections and going out to eat with them and having a great time, what's better? You get to pick, and frankly, I like the second option. Overall, it's just, it's been pretty busy past month for me. Work's been pretty busy, I'll say that. And it's only getting busier. I've got some pretty big stuff coming up at my job, so that'll be nice. Overall, it's going to take me a really long time to record all of this, but the last piece of footage I got, which is this video that you're watching now, it was a piece of footage that's about 2 hours long, so I'm trying to cut it up in a variety of ways to make it work. If I cut it up just correctly, I should be able to have a set of 3 videos out pretty soon, which is going to be really nice. And it allows me to record more. I learned that I have a lot of time in each day, just after work, to dedicate to whatever I feel like. As long as I just focus on it, I should be good. So, for example, this, it takes about maybe 2 days, 2 different days, to do all of this. One for recording all of the footage, and another for recording audio for an episode. That I consider 2 days. If I add more episodes, that's more days. On weekends, it's extended out a bit, where I could do more episodes or more footage. It depends. I would prefer to keep the footage to about 1 to 2 hours, maybe 3 hours at most. Because the lower the number, the easier it's gonna, be able to be put into Microsoft Clipchamp, which is always nice. Also, it gives me, I have enough time after work each day to actually potentially work on personal projects, like getting back into art and actually doing that properly instead of just gameplay videos. Or, my favorite thing that's come up, because that's an on and off interest in mine, is Dungeons & Dragons. I love tabletop role-playing games, so it's nice to be able to get back into that again. If you hear me take a pause or anything, I've got a drink by my side here, and I'm just enjoying that while I'm recording. I know it's kind of unprofessional, but frankly, what are you gonna do? It's a drink. I feel thirsty sometimes. Also, I really need caffeine in my system, so, can't really change that. Anyway, yeah, but tabletop role-playing games are always nice. After visiting my friends, we decided to come to the conclusion that we were all craving some, D&D. And, I decided I'm gonna run an adventure path for them. We're going to be running Phandelver and Below, if you've ever played or heard of that. It's a really cool campaign that it starts out as the starter adventure that you got in the starter box back in 2014 with D&D 5e. But then the latter half is entirely dedicated to the Far Realm and some very weird stuff happening. I think it's just cool and interesting. I really wanna work with that a bit more. Oh yeah, and that noise you just heard was a Steam achievement for how many treasure chests I opened. Oh man. Sometimes I just, I hear that noise and I just laugh because it's damn, that's making it into the video. Apparently, the Steam achievement sound is connected to the gameplay, so the desktop audio that it records does count the Steam achievement. Which is always a funny thing to catch in post-recording, I'll admit. I really wish it didn't happen though, because I kinda like playing straight, with no differences and stuff, like that Steam achievement noise or like a Discord notification popping up. I'm so glad that OBS silences Discord while I'm using it. That is like the best thing that's ever, like, that I've ever known, really. It helps out so much. Oh man. Let's see, so right now Junpei has the poison condition, so if he does anything, he's taking damage. What I'm trying to do in this footage is honestly something I gave up after I played through this session. First off, I'm trying to get used to the game again because it's been like a while since I played. So everything's a little bit slower than it normally is. I'm usually a lot quicker. But the thing I was trying to do that I'm not going to do anymore is like attempt to level up the personas all the way. All I'm going to do is just collect them, explain them, and temporarily use them in battle if possible. A lot of times I can't use personas in battles because they're just not as efficient or useful as others. I have learned that leveling up personas, especially for the main character, is like the slowest thing ever. It's so slow. Also, like, if I change the difficulty, right, if I ever change the difficulty at any point in time, that would throw off my balance with the game. I prefer playing one difficulty all the way through, you know? And different difficulties do give out different numbers, like multipliers for experience. But I'm playing normal, like I'm playing the normal difficulty. So technically everything is like 0, you know, everything is flat, it's normal. There's no multipliers, there's no bonuses, it is just normal gameplay, which I prefer. I don't like any other, like, special bonuses on top to make it harder, I don't like any, like, small stuff when it's easier, I just like doing the game at a normal rate. Maybe someday I'll be interested in doing a Persona 3 run, where it's all, like, in the hardest setting, and I just have to learn. Like, I have to learn, I have to do, I have to survive. That'd be interesting, don't get me wrong, but it's not something I'd record as footage, honestly, because you'd be watching basically a marathon of me trying to make it through Persona 3 Reload. And frankly, these videos are already like, what, 45 to an hour? Well, 30 to an hour in length, and nobody likes dealing with this length of time at all. I will say that, I guess I could just talk about some, like, personal stuff, just for a while. I got back into, like, you know, watching YouTube, like, watching old YouTubers that I used to watch when I was, like, a little bit younger, but also just, like, watching different YouTubers, like, video essays and stuff. I forgot how much, like, I forgot that how much, like, YouTubers like Vanoss Gaming, like, were genuinely inspirational to me. Like, that whole, like, the whole Banana Bus crew, really. I just forgot how inspirational they were to me, because it's just, like, it's really cool seeing, like, the cool editing styles, and, like, the different personalities and jokes, like, kind of pop up and clash, and it's nice. It's, like, honestly, I genuinely think that, overall, as a gaming YouTuber, Vanoss Gaming and anyone that's a part of the Banana Bus crew in this current day and age is, like, really cool. Like, genuinely, they do a great job at it. It's nice seeing that I take some inspiration, like, from them in some ways, I guess. I'm not able to apply it here, really, because I'm playing alone. But, you know, if I'm with friends, like, obviously some of that stuff applies, but I think that's just any friend group stuff that applies. Every friend group has their own jokes and gimmicks and little skits they do. I think that's just something that, you know, it's just a normal thing, and I like seeing that. It's pretty casual. I think it's less of an inspiration, but more like definitive proof that, like, a friend group like mine exists, you know, in, like, the same form, just a different group of people at a different time, like, stuff like that, you know? It's just nice. It's nice to know that. Overall, I've been a lot happier recently. I haven't really been, like, upset about anything. I'm just, yeah. I think, overall, like, oh my god, I'm halfway through June, man. I just looked at the calendar. Halfway through June, that is crazy. We're already halfway through 2024, and I started this in, like, what, February, maybe March? Yeah, I started this in February, and we're like, what, 10, 11 episodes in now? I've got over 10 videos on the channel. I have 10 subscribers. I mean, man, that's a lot of 10s, actually. Point is, we're halfway through June. We're over halfway through the year now, proper. Actually, no, not really, because I have to wait till the end of June, like right between June and July. That's halfway through. Sorry. We're pretty close to the halfway point. That's what I should say. It's just crazy to think about that, really. It feels like everything's been going by so fast. Like, it's... Man. This right here, this enemy, I had a lot of trouble dealing with him, because it's like, oh yeah, it's the first powerful opponent. Powerful opponents are typically alone, like the Steel Gigas. I believe that's how you pronounce that, but if possible, I could say Giant or something. I don't know. Point is, I did not know his weakness at all, and I was guessing at things, and as you could tell with Minato, I should say, sorry. With my player character Minato, I was running out of SP, so my options were so low. Ah, man. Yeah, I didn't have a lot going on here. It was pretty risky overall. I mean, with that many options left, you don't really know what works. What am I thinking about? Man. It's been a while since I've done a recording like this, so it's like taking me a minute to like readjust and actually talk and do things. Junpei's critical was cool though. And I think he does that multiple times in this fight specifically, which is crazy to me, because I've never had like a critical happen twice in a row. Specifically with like one party member, it always happens like, you know, like different party members, different battles, never twice in a row. I kind of played this fight a bit smarter, but I couldn't figure out his weakness at first, and I didn't want to Google it, so, you know, it was a bit, you know, strange. For the most part, it was just lowering his accuracy and his evasion, doing potential buffs on party members, doing, like, flat damage for the most part, with aiming to try and get a critical, and also making him, like, brainwashed or confused or something like that. Just attempting to change up, like, the way that he operates, really.
Here we go.
Yeah, this is actually, like, difficult to get back into. I'm 12 minutes into this footage, and this specific episode is gonna be, like, 53 minutes long, so... I don't know, I forgot how long that these take. I have to talk for, like, an hour here. That's... Man. I never really talk for that long, if I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really, like, someone who talks for an extended period of time, unless it's, like, something I have, like, a complete interest in. I'm a little bit neurodivergent. I have no idea, like, what I am, because I've never been diagnosed with anything at all. But I know for a fact that there is something, like, up with me that is just not clear. I'm most likely autistic. Like, I have to be. There's no way. I mean, I've gotten the whole, like, oh yeah, my friends and family diagnosed me, and I'm like, I believe them, but it's also confusing, because, like, I'm someone who prefers to, like, get information directly from doctors, especially if it's, like, pertaining to, like, I mean, obviously health, you know? I'm not my own doctor, and nobody's my doctor, so, like, it's, you know? Yeah. I don't know, I don't think I'm ever gonna actually get diagnosed with anything, and I think it's wrong to, like, self-diagnose or diagnose someone else with something, unless, like, you're either you're 100% sure on something, or, like, you're, like, kind of, backing them up on, like, an already confirmed thing, like, properly confirmed, like, medical thing. I guess in my case, it's just, like, I've had so many people, like, diagnose me, I guess. I'm putting that in air quotes here, you know, just air quotes right there, because it's not really diagnosis. They're just like, you might, and that's not a diagnosis. That's, like, potential. I've had so many people suggest that I am, and I think that I am, but I can't confirm whether or not I am, so it's like, it's a thing. But no, seriously, I have spent literally, like, the most I'll talk in a day, maybe, to other people is kind of insane. Like, if it's someone, like, I'm unfamiliar with, you're getting, like, barely any words out of me. The most amount that I talk in a day maybe is, like, 30 minutes, which is not much at all. Like, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like, 30 minutes per day. I'm not mute or anything, it's just, like, I don't know, I just don't talk to other people that I don't know, you know? If it's people that I know and that I'm aware of, I'll talk to them a lot. Also, text is just a lot easier for me in a lot of cases, because it's just easier to type out than to talk, especially when I don't even know, like, how to say words, you know? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You can tell by these videos, I clearly cannot talk that well. I'm mainly just, like, pulling it, like, straight out of my ass here. Usually I'd, like, you know, censor any curse words, I'd say, or anything that's, like, a little bit, like, suggestive in, like, in nature as to what it is. Like, a couple videos ago, like, I mentioned, not a couple, maybe, it was a long time ago, but I mentioned, like, Hermes in an older Persona game, happening to take an appearance similar to something else. And I had, like, I censored it, but I think now I'm just, like, okay with saying it, because there's nothing, like, there's nothing wrong with saying the word, it's just, like, I don't know, I don't see a lot of reason to say it, I guess. If I don't really, like, care that much, I guess. Actually, that's something I'll rant about for a minute. I don't understand this whole, like, TikTok-level amounts of censorship, where you can't say, like, dead or death or something. I can understand, like, trigger words or trigger phrases. I can completely understand them, okay? Things are sensitive subjects to people. I believe that 100%, wholeheartedly. But, like, we need to actually be able to say words for what they are, you know? I'm sorry, but, like, saying the word suicide is, like, a big deal, and it's supposed to be. But the second that we say unalive, you're downplaying an actually, like, catastrophic thing. And I know I'm kind of, like, overplaying that, I guess, in word description. But it's true, by saying certain words that, like, censor the real meaning of, like, the word, the real thing that you're trying to aim at, it causes a lot of problems, and it doesn't get the point across of what is serious, especially when it's dealing with sensitive subjects. You don't see news articles, like, directly saying, like, oh yeah, this person, this, you don't see them saying, like, oh, this young adult, unalived themselves because of, like, school bullying or something. You specifically see that they use words like, you know, suicide. And it's serious. It's meant to be serious. And so to see, like, users on TikTok and, like, various platforms, I'm blaming TikTok, I'm blaming, like, literally every platform for having this kind of, like, level of censorship where you can't say certain words like that. I mean, it's pretty terrible. I'm not saying, like, oh yeah, go ahead and say, like, slurs and stuff, but, like, I'm saying that, like, words that should be serious have to be said in order to understand, like, news stories and stuff. They have to be serious. You can't just downplay it like that. You're kind of just disrespecting the whole point of it. We shouldn't have to downplay anything. We should actually keep things at a fairly, like, normal level. If something is bad, we should know it as bad. Simple as that. There's no things on that. I know occasionally, like, I rant and I talk about things for, like, a longer period of time, and it sounds like a nothing burger because I'm talking to no one, because nobody watches these videos. But occasionally, if you do actually hear these and, like, take an interest in these sorts of, like, small rants that mean nothing and aren't targeted towards specific people, then, I mean, yeah, thank you. I mean, I'm glad you listen. I will be real, though. Nobody's making it past, like, the 3-minute mark in this video. The second they hit 3 minutes, it's done. There's no more. It's over. Oh, man. That's usually how it goes. You know that one episode, I think episode 8, still has no comments or views on it? Nobody's touched that one, and I'm surprised. It's so funny. I think something is wrong when I posted that. Maybe it's private? I don't know. I'm gonna have to make it public, though, or at least check what the conditions are, because something is clearly wrong with it. I'm confused that nobody has commented on it. I can see it on my own channel. Like, I can see it. But I don't know if anyone else can, and that's my issue. Then again, I'm pretty sure 8 is worth missing, because you're not missing a whole lot of things. I was kind of in, like, a downer mood during that one. That was... that was a bit of a mess. And it was before a big boss battle, and the next episode was the boss battle, so I consider, like, 9 to be better than 8. I swear I have, like, a whole list, like, ranking of episodes, and 8 is easily one of the ones that's on the lower, like, half. But not lower half. The lowest quarter of the list, easily. I swear, episodes 1, 2, and 8 are just weak. Those are easily my weakest episodes. I think my strongest episode so far, ooh. If I had to pick maybe 5 or 6, and then 9 and 10 are pretty strong too. Those are all really good episodes now I think about it. I'm gonna have to, like, go through the footage again and, like, actually do a ranking list at some point. Actually, no, I should do a ranking after my series is done here. After I'm done with Persona 3 Reload, I'm going to do a tier list of what I think my best moments, like my best episodes were, either in terms of editing, or in terms of, like, talking, or content, or what got done during the episode. I want to go over it and really figure out, like, what is the best episode that I've put out, in my opinion. And I want other people to, like, I really want them to, like, go through the episodes, too, and, like, tell me what their favorite is, too. Especially as we go along here, I'm still learning, you know, I'm not doing much editing here, I'm just, like, I put the footage in, I trim the footage, I put in fade, I put in an outro, I don't have an intro, I don't even have an outro, I just have an outro card, not, like, an outro. Nothing is official here, like, at all. All that's official is just me talking for, like, an hour every episode. Man. There's nothing better than Cherry Coke, I'm gonna be real. Water is, like, the worst drink ever. Like, and I stand by this. I don't care if water is good for you, it's just the worst drink ever. That is my honest opinion, I hate water. It is such a, like, a bad drink that I just can't deal with it, you know? Oh, you know, if you don't drink water, your kidneys will die. Okay, then I'll drink water sometimes, but I'm not gonna drink it every day. There's water in everything I eat or drink. Water is involved somehow. Need to beat the heat? Okay, drink water, drink soda, drink anything really that's cold. Pretty much everything has water in it. There's nothing that doesn't have water in it, except for maybe sand. And that's obvious. But yeah, no, I'm very much like a soda drinker. I don't do much water. Or tea. I don't really like tea. Unless it's like a lavender milk tea, I really work with, like, milk teas. Those are good. Oh, and then, like, I don't do coffee much either, but then again, a chocolate cappuccino does sound kind of good. But then again, like, I also don't do energy drinks, yet I drink, like, Monster, like, the Aussie lemonade one. Or I drink, like, oh man, Bang hasn't been good in forever. Like, it's been good, don't get me wrong, but it's like, Bang isn't, like, flavorful as it used to be, I guess? Their just selection kind of decreased, I guess? I don't know. Rays. Okay, that's a good energy drink. I completely forgot about Rays. Rays is an energy drink that's, like, a lot more, like, it's lower in, like, caffeine content and stuff. But overall, like, the flavors are actually really good. They had, like, a South Beach one that kind of tasted like Sprite. They had my favorite one, which is, it's like, what is it? Voodoo. Ray's Voodoo, and it tasted like blood oranges, like that flavor. I love that flavor. That is a good flavor. I wish that more, like, not food, but, like, more drinks, use that flavor and stuff, especially during Halloween. I just gotta say, blood orange is a good flavor. I know I'm doing, like, a lot of, like, personal talk and not a lot of, like, gameplay talk, but mainly what this episode is gonna consist of is me doing this. Fighting in Tartarus, going through the Arqa Block for a while, just making my way through slowly. I'm just really trying to make it work here. So I progress both in the story with, like, gameplay, I progress in the story with level ups and plot and various other things like that. Just keeping myself fresh here. I will say the end of this episode is going to be kind of like a lightning round of personas that I have to talk about, which is going to be really nice. Although I have to figure out which ones I'm, like, fusing and stuff to make it work. I'm dividing up this, like, footage, this, like, set of footage that I already have. This, you know, I call it, like, Video 3, basically. I'm dividing up Video 3 into 3 parts because it's just a lot easier, especially with how things are segmented. This first thing here is, like, all about, like, the actual Persona gameplay. The second piece is actually about, like, social links and a bit of, like, test studying, oddly enough. And then the third piece is going to be, like, all about the test and the exams, which is going to be really nice to go through. Which, it gives me time to actually talk about, like, you know, maybe personal school life. But also, like, during the middle, I can actually talk about social links again, and what, like, certain actions actually do. Because I did not know this, but the social stat system is absolutely insane. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense, because, frankly, it just, there's no numbers. There is, but they don't show numbers, and that's how it is with most of the game, so, you know, I can't really argue with that, I guess. Let's see, we're 27 minutes in, 27... Okay, so we're about halfway through this episode now. We're pretty close to halfway, or at least at the halfway point. Man, I've been talking for quite a while. I'm just trying to think about, like, other things, like, I want to talk about. Like, stuff that's, like, fitting, I guess. Not just, like, for the episode, but, like, in general with, like, themes and stuff, you know? It's always difficult to get back into recording, because it feels like your first, like, your first episode after getting back into recording stuff, it always feels terrible, because you weren't in your prime. The next episode, immediately, like, it's, like, you're in your prime, instantly, you're there, and it's like, why did I record the first episode in the first place? Why? Why did I stop? Like, none of it makes any sense to me in terms of, like, you know, annoying me like this, you know? I wish that, like, I was in my prime of recording 24/7. But then again, no, there is no then again. I want to be in my prime when recording, all the time. Like, no nothing, you know? It is this or nothing, simple as that, you know? I want episode 9, episode 10 again. Not this, not episode 8, I think, or 7, or whichever one I messed up. Not 1 and 2, I want a real episode of gameplay. Man, wow. That's a hell of a lot I'm talking about. I said I'd take a lot of inspiration from, early Let's Players, like, you know, early on, like, YouTube's, like, lifespan, where a lot of it is just, like, talking. The gameplay is still going on, and the gameplay is, like, the focus, but it's less reaction-based and more, like, gameplay-oriented. It's kind of like a guide or a walkthrough. It's more about, like, the person's journey through the game. But also, like, they include a lot of information and personal stories in there, and it's always really nice. Mainly, like, the people that I take inspiration from when it comes to, like, this, it was Chugga Conroy. I was, like, an early fan of his videos, I believe, yeah. Like, especially around, like, I think Majora's Mask or, like, the Mario Galaxy era, in terms of, like, scaling. His playthrough of Paper Mario Thousand Year Door was also, like, really good. I remember going back and watching his, like, first Paper Mario, Let's Play. really all of his Let's Plays are great, and I take a lot of inspiration in terms of, like, you know, like how he does things. I'm not, like, an editor at all, so I can't do, like, the whole stat blocksy stuff like he does for Pokemon or routes. I can't, like, talk about, like, all of the in-game mechanics because, frankly, I don't understand them all the time. I wish I was, like, on a level like that where I had such a good understanding of games that I could just talk about only information in games freely. But I'm always, like, lacking in certain areas like that that would make these, like, a lot better. Then again, developing my own style is actually, like, more fun to me, I guess, rather than just being a complete, like, info dump. And he does have moments where he just doesn't talk about, like, the game itself and talks about his personal life, so, you know.
Let's not pass it up.
Overall, you know, through him, like, I found out about the Runaway Guys, which was, like, a really cool, like, group. They're still active. And through them I found, like, each of their unique channels, like Nintendo Capri Sun, or, man, how am I forgetting his name? How am I forgetting his name? That's actually crazy. Hold on, I have to actually Google this, because now I feel terrible. Like, I actually do 100%, like, I feel terrible at this, because, like... Hold on, where is it? Yeah, Proton John, that's his name, wow. That took me so long to actually, like, find out and remember. Yeah, but through them I found their content. And then eventually, you know, as I was growing up, you know, I grew away kind of from, like, the basic Let's Plays and stuff. And at the time, like, the new age of YouTube was coming in terms of, like, you know, gameplay and, like, content creation and stuff like that. So I ended up getting into, like, Vanoss Gaming and the whole, like, Banana Bus crew. I mean, overall it's pretty wild. I used to watch also, like, you know, old Minecraft YouTubers that I'd rather just not, like, talk about because, man, so much stuff has changed over the years that I'm just like, wow. You know, like, I did not expect, like, that much stuff to actually happen, you know? And something crazy whenever you're looking back is that, like, you look at what's happened now and you're just like, wait, like, how did we get to this point, you know? They used to be, like, so, like, they used to be, like, top of their game, you used to be a fan, and then, like, you know, slowly your fanboyism, or whatever, dies out, your interest dies out. And, like, you come back years later because you just remember, like, oh yeah, that person exists. And then you look it up and it's immediately just like, and it's like, you don't understand how much is happening. And you 100%, like, fully, like, you're on board with this. You're not denying any of it happened. You're just like, man, what just happened? What did I witness? It's like a car crash, except if you witness the car crash 2 years late. Like, it's something just completely, like, bonkers to me, I guess. I guess time does that. Time, you know, it moves forward, it changes constantly, you're not aware of everything 24/7. Wow, you know? Actually, another person I take inspiration from, Zach Scott Games, oddly enough. Yeah, I mean... I know that his content isn't, like, the best, but honestly, he's a pretty solid, like, gaming YouTuber, and I don't know. I don't watch him that much at all. I don't watch him at all anymore, but, like, his early playthroughs of stuff were always just a blast. I really did enjoy them. And he wasn't, like, the smartest or anything, but he was definitely knowledgeable about what he was talking about. But for the most part, he was just, like, a very entertaining person, I guess. He was more, he was, like, the right mix of, like, reaction and information, you know? He was more of an in-the-moment kind of guy. Nowadays, though, he's, I think he's constantly getting sponsored by, like, EA and PopCap to, like, record, like, Plants vs. Zombies 2 and 3. How many episodes of Plants vs. Zombies 2 has Zach Scott Games on? I wonder. I'm actually gonna Google that while I'm, like, recording this, because I want to know, like, what episode is he on? Specifically of Plants vs. Zombies 2, because I think he still does make videos for them whenever a new plant comes out, and they, like, sponsor him to do it. Let's see. Well, let's see. Where is Plants vs. Zombies 2? It is gonna be really far down in this list, even though there's like 1,000 episodes, I believe. Nope, that's Plants vs. Zombies 3 beta. It's gonna take a while to get to it. He started this playthrough back when that game came out. Wait, when did Plants vs. Zombies 2 come out? That's crazy. I gotta think about that, too. Oh, man. It's just wild to think that, like, over the years so much can happen. Either good or bad, or not even good and bad, maybe just, like, I don't know, in the middle somewhere, kind of like with this specifically that I'm trying to find out. It's just, it exists, you know? It's kind of like that idea where it just exists. That's Plants vs. Zombies Heroes, that's the Garden Warfare 2 beta, that's Garden Warfare. Man, it's taking a while to get to this list, man. It's before the Peggle. It's before this. Man, there's so many games that I remember I watched from him. He had a solid, like, repertoire, like a proper, he had a solid, like, playlist of games. I'll admit, like, these are all pretty good. I think I remember watching some of his Scribblenauts and, Wonderful 101. Those were good. Okay, I might have gone past Plants vs. Zombies 2. Hold on. It's gotta be around here somewhere. Yeah, because that's Garden Warfare, and then 2 came out after Garden Warfare. But where is it? I cannot find it. Maybe it's before Plants vs. Zombies 1. Maybe he played 2 before 1. Which is kind of insane. I don't know how anyone could do that. Nope, there it is. 1,166 episodes of Plants vs. Zombies 2 by Zack Scott Games. That's actually crazy. Like, wow. We got ourselves a shadow here. I'm impressed. That's pretty wild. Oh man. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. Who knows? You know, I think I actually would watch him maybe tomorrow. That does sound kind of nice to, you know, refresh my brain a little bit, some nostalgia. Man, that's crazy to think about. Anyway, man, sorry about, like, the long search for, like, what episode he's on, specifically of Plants vs. Zombies 2. Sometimes I just think about something, and I go to find it, and I find the answer, and it's just like, wow, that really did happen, you know? Like, and I'm doing it in, like, the worst possible time, where I'm in the middle of recording this episode, like, full, straight audio, like, literally 50 minutes of audio, you know? So you can tell that I have my priorities straight, where I'm not even focused on gameplay anymore. I'm completely 100% hard-locked on, like, finding the answer to my question. Oh man, I really need to get my priorities straight and, like, become an actually decent YouTuber, I guess. If I, too, could just not work, like, a day in my life, like one of those, real jobs, I would easily choose YouTube over one of those jobs. I know that editing and, like, maintaining videos and, like, posting to a schedule and the algorithm and, like, working your way through things and dealing with sponsors and stuff is, like, that's hard work. But, like, I don't know, I just don't want one of these, like, real jobs, like one of these, like, office, like, corporate jobs, or, you know, one of those jobs that puts me just outside. I don't know. I just don't want, like, a proper job that people consider to be, like, traditional, I guess, you know? Like, office worker, salesperson, tech support. Like, I'm sorry, if I had to work tech support, it'd be over. Like, I would intentionally give everyone the wrong information. I don't even care anymore. Honestly, I'd prefer to be, like, an artist, like, a concept artist for various shows and stuff. I do think that concept art is, like, a really cool, it's a really cool job, to work in concept art. Especially because you're making, like, you're kind of, like, free range with it, but they tell you some specific things. Like, they give you some things that are like, hey, here's what the character's supposed to look like, or they give you a list of, like, descriptors, and you kind of work your way around it. I just like concept art both as a job and as, like, an idea for a job. I've never once done it, but I know how it should be done, I guess. Although my art is, like, very bare bones and not up to a professional standard that I'd like it to be. I 100%, like, if I was good at art, if I went to, like, an art school that, like, taught this stuff for years, right? I don't care how much the tuition is, I would become a concept artist immediately afterward. That is my dream job. I don't care what it takes, I want to do it. If I could work, like, literally, like, I don't care if I work in America for, like, Marvel, if I work at Disney, if I work at some indie company, if I work in Japan for an anime studio, I don't care. As long as I'm doing concept art that just, you know, pops up, it's a consistent job, it keeps me challenged and focused and always wanting more, like, more concepts for, like, to push out to the public, I 100% would do it. You ever, see the concept art for, like, it was, what was it? Was it the Batman Beyond, like, Spider-Verse-like movie that Warner Brothers canned? That concept art looked pretty cool. But there's also the concept art for Star Wars, which looks absolutely amazing. There's concept art for Danganronpa and Persona, which both look absolutely great. I love the way that those look, especially for the characters.
Are you accepting a request?
Overall, I just think, like, stuff like concept art is cool and essential. Like, it's...
I will await
it's a lot.
success.
Again, you know, my ranting and nerding out, it does a lot of things. I'm actually coming up to the part where I'm doing the speed round on Personas, so that's gonna be really nice. We're gonna have to figure out which ones I'm fusing, which ones I can talk about, and which ones I should not talk about because of later times. It will take a while to get through this.
To the Velvet Room.
Man. Okay. I gotta, like, prepare myself here. I gotta, like, you know, shape up, kind of just slap myself awake a little bit and really work with this. We're performing dyad fusions, which are basically just, you know, one to the other. It's two personas, I get to fuse them and see what's possible. Ooh, man. Which one are we making? Ooh, I mean, I think that one I do actually end up making, but I think I don't know. Which one do I make?
This persona, yes? Is this acceptable?
I literally don't know which ones I fused. Like, I don't remember. This footage was recorded, like, maybe a week or two ago,
This one is somewhat beneath.
so I have no idea. This has basically been sitting in my backlog for, like, over a week, and I have no idea what I actually did.
This persona,
Man,
yes?
it would make sense if I did make that, but I also, like, I took into account the Arcana families, and, like, what bonuses I could receive if I did or didn't fuse them.
What do you wish to inherit?
Did I fuse him? I don't remember anything. Like, I don't remember a single thing about this.
It seems no new powers have been bestowed upon
Okay, yeah,
you.
so did I do that and then hit... Yep, I hit hold on, so clearly this isn't
Please
it.
choose what skills to inherit.
It seems no new powers have been bestowed upon you.
Okay, so I didn't do that one either.
Please choose what skills to inherit.
It seems no new
Okay, I put those
powers have
in.
been bestowed upon you.
Yep, nothing. Okay, cool. I'm glad I just don't... I can't choose. This is how I spend the next, like, 10 minutes? I'm sorry, but, like, if I had to watch 10 minutes of me being indecisive, I'd probably just end it all right there. That is not fun.
To consider.
Is this
I think
acceptable?
I did Valkyrie. Yeah, Valkyrie's of Strength. I definitely did. I think I did her.
Is this acceptable? This persona is powerful.
It would make sense if I did Valkyrie.
Is this? Please choose what skills to inherit.
Did I? I hope I did. Because I have no idea what to talk about now. Because I need to talk about the personas, but I also don't know. Yes, I did hit accept. Okay. Valkyrie is from Norse mythology, and we know this because Valkyries have been commonly shown in media as associating with Norse mythology. They are a part of the Strength Arcana, which makes so much sense. I just... yeah, literally in every game, starting from Persona 3 on, they're all Strength. They used to be a part of the Star, but now we're on something. Anyway, yeah, so this is a female figure that appears to the dead in Norse mythology, and they decide who will die in battle, which is pretty cool. The Valkyries bring their chosen to the afterlife hall of the slain, which is Valhalla, ruled over by the god Odin, where the deceased warriors become I can't pronounce that. Einherjar.
Please choose what skills to inherit.
Einherjar? Yeah, I don't know. I cannot pronounce that. Basically, when they're not preparing for the events of Ragnarok, the Valkyries will give them mead. And it's pretty much basically just Valkyries are just kind of like warriors that bring in other dead warriors from battle who fought bravely and bring them in to become a warrior in the afterlife. Wait, is my next one gonna actually... Yes, it is. Okay, good. Now we can talk about what is essentially... Atlas's mascot is Jack Frost. Jack Frost is a persona of the magician archetype. That family, the Arcana. I should say, Arcana. Man, I'm losing it here. Jack Frost is pretty funny, but they're in English European mythology specifically. Wait, did I say interesting again? I'm glad I toned that word down. It's been so long. Anyway, Jack Frost is simply just a demon. They are a spirit originating from England, a snow elf who brings in the cold weather during winter, and is responsible for the frost that forms on the windows of homes and buildings. We all know Jack Frost. If you're American, you've seen some of those movies before with Jack Frost in them. What's the one I'm thinking of? It's like the kind of like those seasonal... What was it? What was that movie? Movies with Jack Frost. Rise of the Guardians, that movie. Yeah, that... I have not watched that movie, actually, but I should. Point is, there's Jack Frost in that, and that also takes inspiration from the same place. It's just, they both look different, because, I mean, why would they look the same? Let's be real, why would they look the same? Jack Frost should not look like other Jack Frost. One needs to look kind of, I guess, fiendish in origin, and the other needs to look like a normal guy, for the sake of, what is it? For the sake of, animation, like, rules, I guess. Don't go too complicated with the design. But no, seriously, that is, that's something to note, you know. If you want a movie to watch later that I don't know anything about, but, you know, you probably watched when you were my age, or, well, when you were a kid or something, it's Rise of the Guardians, 2012. The animated movie. I think it was all about those, like... What is this? Yeah, immortal guardians like Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy protect the world's children from darkness and despair. Oh, man. Wait, who made this movie? DreamWorks? Wait, DreamWorks made this movie? That's actually crazy to think about. I did not know that that was DreamWorks. I'm sorry. Man. Who did I fuse? I don't remember. I don't remember who I fused. I'm gonna have to, like, retrack. Oh, Lilim. Okay, now I can actually talk about, like, Lilim for a second. Lilim is the devil. I have to go back and make sure I have the correct information on her. I probably should have looked this up ahead of time. I really should have. I am so sorry. Oh, man. In specifically this game, she's a part of the Devil Arcana Onward, which makes sense. It's Lilim. I mean, come on. They're from Abrahamic or Mesopotamian mythology, depending on where you want to draw from. They're dangerous demons similar to succubi, and they were conceived through Lilith alone, though some of them came from the union of herself and the Angel of Death. I can't pronounce these. I should really learn things. Samuel. It is not Samuel, because there's no U in there. It's A-E, it's Samuel. Or Samael, I don't know.
This would be a wise
Anyway,
choice.
men feared the Lilim for this reason, because they were, you know, from hell. And women also feared them because it's believed that they kidnap children like their mother. Like their mother does, Lilith. Amazingly beautiful, strongly resembling their mother. They're said to bring harm to human children and to seduce men who are caught in their gaze. And they drain men of their essence.
Which will you choose?
So, I mean, let's see. Lilith was believed to be the sexual, pleasurable manifestation of a goddess, the prime deity of a prevailing religion, which ancient Judaism sought to destroy. Such folklore said Lilith had control of life or death over any child produced by any sexual union not prescribed by Jewish law, including husband and wife in candlelight, the woman completely naked, or at a time forbidden by the law.
Take
This would
These
be
are
a
very
wise
specific
choice.
rules. I don't know.
Please choose
Oh wait,
what
did I actually
skills
make
do you have.
slime? I think I did make slime. That's gonna be a fun one to describe because slime is a pretty basic persona in a lot of ways.
appears it will receive a fair
Are they
amount
actually
of
like
extra power.
So in this series of games specifically, this part, all the Persona 3 games, for the most part here, all of them classify the slime as being a part of the Fool Arcana, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, honestly.
What do you
But the
wish to
slime
inherit?
actually takes inspiration from Dungeons and Dragons, or the archetype that most of those creatures in Dungeons and Dragons are called oozes. They're common types of monsters in any fantasy role-playing game. I don't think, yeah. For the most part, it'd be like Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, but also games that only showed up in Japan, like the Slimes of Dragon Quest is like a prime example of a famous slime. They don't usually have any distinct shape. Okay.
It's yours.
They don't have any, like, real distinct shape, they don't have anything going on, they're just different. Some are intelligent, some are just nothing, others are just goo. It doesn't really matter, it's a slime.
May I assist
Yeah, but for the most part, I mean, it's just a slime from Dungeons and Dragons, or any sort of ooze. There's no real, like, inspiration it takes from, there's no mythology it takes from, it's just, like, pop culture, it's media. It's fantasy, it's that genre.
Good day. Are you accepting a request?
It's nice to see that, you know, Dungeons and Dragons does have a lot of, it actually has a lot of influence on stuff pretty much around the world, taking inspiration from a lot of things. Primarily kobolds are, like, the big one. I'll talk more about, like, kobolds in the next episode, because I found the whole story pretty interesting. But it has something to do with,
The world you live in
Japan's
is so
and really
bright
just
and
like
colorful.
the East's view of what kobolds are versus the West's, and how it actually caused like an interesting question to be tossed around whenever Dungeon Meshi came out. That's a really good anime. You should definitely watch that. I'll talk more about that in the next episode, honestly. That does sound like a good thing I can talk about. For the most part, though, I mean, we don't have much time left in this episode, and we did some Persona fusions. We got some stuff out of the way. Which is really nice. We can actually move on and talk about more things later on. Man, what can I talk about? It's actually been a while. I mean, we don't have much time left. For the most part, I could just say the basic stuff and head out, so, you know. It's actually 11 o'clock p.m. my time right now. So, you know, it's pretty close to nighttime. I might go to sleep soon. I'm not sure. Might stay up for a little bit, might watch this upload. I'll consider it in the future. Anyway, I'm Eire Armstrong. This has been Saturn's Edge with the Persona 3 Reload playthrough. I hope that, well, all of you have like a great month. June is the month for a lot of things. You got Pride Month, you got Roma History Month, you got Men's Mental Health Month, I believe. Really, it's a month for a lot of things. Let's be aware of these things, like, all the time. There's also the breast cancer, like, awareness, yeah, it's that season for breast cancer awareness. I completely, yeah, I properly remember that. But yeah, seriously, be aware of, like, all these things that only exist, well, not only exist, but only show up and have their own month. But let's be aware of all these things. I hope all of you have, like, a great time. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're interested in my sort of content, even though you're probably not. And I hope you all have a great day. See you around.